is the greeting word that we used to say whenever we meet each other. It simply means peace be upon you. We don't say hi, hello, we say assalamu alaikum. So we start with the peaceful words for each other. We wish them peace for everyone. For me, a little about myself. First of all, I was born in a small village of Wazirabad, that is the province Punjab. And I did all my schooling in Islamabad, which is the capital of Pakistan. And I did 2 masters for my educational background, which is computer science and business. And I have almost 10 years of experience in working the computer science profession, including 3 years in teaching of computers and education assessment itself. A little about Pakistan especially, we have most of the areas we have the joint family systems. The joint family system is that something that my father will leave the house and I with my siblings will be living in the same house with their wives and children. So one head will be leading the house and will be all living together. And these are a few very interesting pictures maybe for you guys. The first picture you can see here is the house of mine which was decorated for my marriage. The next is my wife and myself definitely. And her hands, those were filled with henna. So she was decorated. And you can see some later moments with my son and his pictures all over here. And his room when he was born, so we just decorated his home. So this is how we do some culture. So I thought to better start from marriages and these things and about my family first. Okay. Pakistan, definitely you heard this word so many times in news. A very hot topic nowadays. Just a flag to show you and some meanings about it. The crescent in the flag shows the progress. The stars shows light and knowledge. And the green area shows the prosperity. And the white area on the side shows the peace. So Pakistan was actually based on these things. And it simply means that unity, faith, discipline is our official slogan. So where we are, very far from here. At this time we are somewhere here. And it took me almost 18 hours non-stop flight to Pakistan. It's in South Asia, and we will talk a little more about geography of Pakistan a little later. Land and population, if we can talk about, we have almost 307 square miles land overall. It's approximately equaling the combined land of UK and France. And the population in 2010 census says that we have above 170 million people out there. Pakistan consists of 5 provinces, which are Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and newly built Gilgit-Baltistan. That was an attached state with us, so now is a part of our province now. And 2 administrative managed areas, those are called ICT and FATA. ICT is the capital territory, and FATA is the tribal areas. Those are attached with us as administrative managed areas, where we have more conflicts of all the security concerns and the war against terror is really going on in that FATA area. And AJK is an attached state with us, and half the part of AJK is a part of Indian occupied army area. So they have occupied that area, and that is a big conflict between India and Pakistan. We'll talk a little more about that in geography. Some national things about Pakistan. The language we used to speak there as the national language is Urdu. The dress we used to wear there is the shalwar kameez. This is a lady's dress and this is the male dress that we used to wear there. So shalwar kameez is the little long shirt, and the trouser is little loose, not like the vest pant. And the game we used to play, or the national game is the hockey, not the ice hockey, but it's the field hockey. But the Pakistani people are more fond of cricket. They like more the cricket. It's almost the baseball, but a little different. Okay. Flowers, the national flower is chambeli, which is jasmine. And the currency is called, the unit is rupee, Pakistan currency unit. And the capital city, as I've told you, is Islamabad, where I have my own schooling and everything. A little about government infrastructure and the structure that how we are there. It's a democratic infrastructure in Pakistan. We have a centralized parliamentarian system, which is consisting of assembly and the senate. Assembly is the lower and the senate is the higher. Legislative assembly there. And we have all these 5 provincial governments. These 5 governments have all their independent budgets and administrative controls of their areas, and the federal is or taking care of them centrally. And the honor that we have in the Muslim world is that the first female prime minister was elected in Pakistan. So she was elected twice, and then later, due to this all terrorist stuff going on, she was assassinated. Okay, some interesting pictures. I believe more in visuals than words and text on the slides. So we'll go to introduce about a little more. The beautiful building infrastructure built in Pakistan was all done by the Mughal emperors, Mongols. So they built this Baradari, which called the 12 Doors building, and it's a unique piece of architecture. Shalimar Garden, again another beautiful structure. The well was built way back in 1800 somewhere. And this was a Pakistan monument, which is called as Minar-e-Pakistan. It was the ground where Pakistan resolution was passed in 1940. So we get efforts against the British rule, and we got separated in 1947. So that was the place where it was passed. And this is a beautiful view, like from of Islamabad picture. We have Faisal Mosque in all the city here, and these are the Himalayan mountain series going on there. So it's the picture from Islamabad, the capital city. Multan Fort, again I have told you that this area, especially the Pakistan, was a central area where all the militants were thinking that this is a center of world, or whatever the reasons were, or it could be a more economical route of the world, economics route or economic hub or whatever. So they were always trying to focus the subcontinent. So all emperors, rulers, they were all trying to come to this area. So one of the Afghan who built that Multan Fort. And there is a newly built Pakistan monument. This was built by Musharraf. You know, you might be knowing about his name. He was the last president of Pakistan. This is Saif al-Muluk. It's a very beautiful lake out there, which is covered with the mountains. That is always covered with the snow and ice the whole year almost. And Spring in Hunza, which is a part of our northern areas. It's a beautiful out there. And the last picture you can see here is almost 50 miles from Islamabad city. It's another hill station, always covered with the snow in the winters. So these are beautiful glimpses from Pakistan that I have thought that would be interesting for you all. Okay, some more pictures. We have an honor that we have the world's highest polo ground. World's highest polo ground, which is in Sakardu in the northern areas. Again, the Faisal Mosque, we have an honor that we have world's biggest mosque, which is Faisal Mosque, so it's in there. And again, a very beautiful thing out here, this one is called the Roof of the World. Officially, it's known as the Roof of the World, and this is a border between China and Pakistan. And on this flag's other side, you will see the Army of China, and this side, Army of Pakistan. They're standing in front of each other always. This is some, definitely everyone's concern, food. So, traditional food that we used to have, it's really spicy, but not very hard like Mexicans, but not very soft like Americans. It's in between, you can say, but delivers a little different taste. So we'll see if we can arrange some time. Okay, so these are the mangoes. Again, the world famous mangoes we have in there. And Hillary Clinton, when she was visiting Pakistan on and off, she tasted them, and she was putting real efforts for United States to get approval to import it from Pakistan. But I'm not sure if she got that approval yet or not, but she's really struggling for that. The mangoes I have tasted here, they are totally different in Pakistan. These mangoes are really sweet and delicious. Again, the national game of Pakistan, which is hockey, the picture from that. Okay, a little more history. All militants, all these areas, those were going to conquer the world. They were making the Pakistan in that subcontinent area a route. So we have a huge long history known of Pakistan. The first known inhabitants of modern day Pakistan, they were Swanians. They are known as Swanians. They were Homo erectus who settled in the Swan Valley and Mewat for almost 2 million years ago. So this is a known history of that area, that this is how old the people were living over there. The world's oldest most civilization, called Mohenjo-daro, is in the Indus civilization. It's also in Sindh Valley, which is a province of Pakistan. And there is a picture of it, so we can just have a look at that. So it was digged out from the ground, so we can see it now. They were very much civilized. They were having roads. They were having all animals. Those were used for agriculture. They were having water irrigation system. Hundreds and hundreds of years of back, they were having this much civilized area, Mohenjo-daro. Then if we can come to the Mongols. The Mongols were actually coming from Russian side, and they were trying to conquer the world, and they again made the Pakistan or the subcontinent areas the route to go to conquer the world. And they ruled this area from 1210 to 1857 until the Britishers came and took over the government from them in 1857. So that was the part when we changed and we went under the British rule. And whatever you can say, luckily or unlucky, my family belongs to them. The real horrible people. These are those warriors. All right. So again, I've told you that it was a subcontinent altogether. It was not India, it was not Pakistan, it was not Bangladesh. It was all called a subcontinent, the South Asian part of the world. Dr. Muhammad Iqbal, he was a philosopher, and he gave the ideology of Pakistan in 1940. He presented at the monument that I've shown you in that garden. So he gave that ideology on the basis of peace and Islam. The reason was because India, Hindus and Muslims were living together. They were having always clashes between each other. So he decided to give an ideology where Muslims can live their own life and Hindus can live their own life peacefully. So he was the one that gave us the ideology of Pakistan. He is this guy. And Muhammad Ali Jinnah was the founder of Pakistan. He's called as father of nations. So he turned this dream of separate homeland into the truth in 1947. And again, it was on the basis of unity, faith, and discipline. That is our official slogan. All right, so 1947 was the time when this well-known country was made. The best topic for CNN. If it was not made in 1947, then what CNN was showing then? I'm still thinking about it. All right. Little about history and culture. Again, we're continuing that. The trouble we were facing, what I believe, what I'm telling you is just my knowledge and belief, that the Britishers always were ruling the world on the rule of divide and rule. So what they did, they divided, but still they want to rule that area and that portion of the world. So they did that distribution of the land and resources, I believe, unjustly. They haven't distributed any resources properly, they haven't did anything properly. So for that reason, we were not having any government structure. The person I told you, that Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founder of Pakistan, he was at that time world's expensive most lawyer. He was. And when he became a governor of Pakistan, he was sitting on stones, and for the paperwork, he was using rough copies of students. So this is where we started from. And again, the British Injustice Division was the basic problem for that. And he was killed, he was dead after 1 year, 1948. So we lost our first governor of Pakistan. And then we were again trying to get good leadership, and still now we are struggling for that. Just because of that reason, there was one constitution made in 1956. Although we were on the map of the world in 1947, but we struggled till 1956 to get first constitution. And again, it was in the problem. Then we got the second one in 62. It was again not agreed upon. Then we got the one in 1973, which is now actually acting at this time. So for the current infrastructure, the Pakistan is a member of United Nations, Commonwealth of Nations, World Trade Organization, G33 countries of the developing nations, and Pakistan is a major non-NATO alliance with United States against the war against terror. And we are paying a huge cost of it. I'll tell you a little more in detail after a little while. Okay, let's get back to geography in detail. We have almost 1,510 miles with Afghanistan, and Afghanistan is the world-known area again that is the head office of all militancies of the world. This is what I believe. It's on the northwest side of Pakistan. 325 miles we have with China on northeast side, and 1,809 miles with India on the east, and 565 miles with Iran on the northwest side. So this is the geography of the Pakistan who are our neighbors over there. Okay, so this is Pakistan.